We can talk about Dayball and how he's the coach of the year. Yes, he is. We can talk about Saquon, how he's probably MVP, probably the MVP candidate, leading MVP candidate this season. But what we're not going to do is talk about all that stuff and not talk about how great Daniel Jones has been this year. Playing his way into a bag, he's extending his time here as a New York Giant with his play this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
Bench Mob, they're speaking them facts that you wanna hear. Their ripping jersey, the vision is clear. Diamonds glisten like a chandelier. You know what I'm here for, like Marshawn Lynch. At clutch time, we do not flinch. Real brothers, we do not switch. Hit home runs with the right pitch. Who run the city? What to do when they hating on you? I feel like Kobe 2010. I taking an L, all I need is a win. Business is business, you know how they go. They playing the seats, now it's time to grow. Tuning now, gotta be in the know. Showtime, bitch, my about to blow.
I ain't seen something else. Miles, you really did not tell you.
Bench Mob Podcast. What's up, bro?
Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Bench Mob Ent. We are back. This is episode 214 or 215, one of them. We putting out the content. This episode, what you can look forward to. We're going to talk about NBA. First couple games is back. Week 6 in NFL, looking ahead to week 7. We're going to touch on a little bit about Deontay Wilder and who he should fight next. And we're going to touch a little bit about, it might be a Daniel Jones apology tour on the way. But before we get into all of that, subscribe, like, rate us 5 stars, share it with a friend, share it with everybody. We got the full squad on tonight. Greg, Mr. Hot Takes, Debate Your Mother, Sinsmere. How are you doing on this fine evening?
Besides needing a cut desperately, because I'm looking at myself, I look homeless right now. But besides needing a cut desperately, and all right, I see Miles shaking his head, nodding.
Glad you say it, bro.
All right, you got a cut recently?
Huh?
You got a cut recently?
A few days old, but yeah.
Yeah, all right. Anyways, as I was saying, I was almost upset about the Nets game, but I realized the Giants are 5-1. I don't even care. So I'm still on cloud 9. Giants are 5-1. That's more important.
Miles, I was about to say debate your mother. Miles, smooth operator, Davenport. How you doing tonight?
Good. Knicks took a tough loss today, but like Greg said, my team is 4-1. Most of our teams in this chat are above 4-2. My fault. 4-2. Most of our teams in this chat are, above 500.
Oh man, that's how you come in.
You knew it had to come between both of y'all and the Bengals being 3-3. You knew
that is a crazy outcome to the start of the season, huh? It's crazy.
Cincinnati's very own. How you doing tonight, Chris?
Look, man, I'm not stressing either. We coming off a big time win, and I'm going to the game this weekend off the next 2 days, so I'm feeling good.
Feeling good. NBA season is back. Full effect. We got LeBron already saying, yo, I ain't got that much time left. Y'all need to make some trades. And obviously, looking at the Spurs game tonight, tank for Wembanyama has started. This is going to be one of the worst seasons in regards of tanking just to get Victor Wembanyama. So far, it's only been a couple of games. What has been y'all biggest takeaways from the season so far?
The Lakers game was an abomination. It was an absolute abomination. And it's not surprising that it went the way it went. I know it's early too. I get that. We talked about it in the chat yesterday. I like bringing these conversations to the show because there's such good conversations in the chat. I feel like we got to bring them to the show, right? Because people want to hear this stuff. They want to hear our opinions about this stuff. So look, the Lakers game going the way it went was not surprising. The Warriors are a well-oiled machine. They were going to get beat. I understand that to an extent. The shooting was historically bad. All right. And LeBron played a role in it. He didn't have a great shooting night, but he also had 31 points and 12 boards and 8 assists. He did what he does. So AD is still died AD. Okay. He's something's not right there. He doesn't make open threes. It's very weird. His His shot is there's no confidence in it. I don't assume he'll be using the wrist injury excuse this year. So I have a hard time, reconciling what's wrong with him shooting the basketball right now. But and Russ played a good game. Russell Westbrook played a good game. I want to get out and say that now. But I am the biggest critic of him. So I want to get out and say, yo, the guy played a good game. And I want to make that very clear to the listeners. But the big thing to me is after the game, obviously what Bron said about needing shooters or not having shooters and just not being a really bad shooting team, and him really firing that alarm saying, hey, it's time to make a trade. Because when Bron does that, when Bron is doing this and the looking around and doing that little shrug in the press conference, is dead. Somebody getting traded. That's his thing. But the thing to me is Russ after the game in his press conference, I guess, told somebody that the hamstring injury happened because he didn't start. He didn't know what to do with himself, and he got hurt. He hurt his hamstring because he didn't start. And I just want everyone to realize that Russ is not going to be compliant. We were seeing all these reports about him and Darvin Ham, like, being on the same page and him being okay with coming off the bench, doing what it took to win games, and that's what mattered the most. I'm not saying the guy's a loser. I'm not coming crazy. What I am going to say is he is not going to be a happy camper about coming off the bench. And he really is that's really what that meant yesterday. Oh, my hamstring hurt. See, because I have a routine and come off the bench, I didn't even know what to do with myself. Listen, I'm not even saying he's not telling the truth. What I am saying is that guy is not going to be happy about coming off the bench, and he's not going to take that laying down. And he's basically, remember, him and his agent parted ways because of the disagreement about whether or not he should be traded from the Lakers. That was the biggest disagreement, and that's why they broke, they went their different ways. They broke up. Russ still wants that. Russ still wants out. I firmly believe Russ wants out of there. All right, you can see it. He's not happy. Like Charles Barkley said on the halftime show yesterday, he is not happy being there. So it is clear as day he's not happy being there, and something's got to give. And I'm not saying it's Russell's fault that the roster is this bad, because it's not his fault. And he played a good game. But he's not a fit on the roster, and the rest of the roster is horrible. Extending Pelinka is a criminal, a war crime. What's her name? Jeannie Buss should be tried in front of a jury for extending Pelinka. That's a joke. Just saying. So some of my big takeaways from the Lakers last night. Those are some of my biggest ones right there. Your thoughts, please. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Either y'all want to go first?
Hey, you go. You're the local Lakers fan.
I would like to hear his thoughts on what I just said.
The local Lakers fan. Russ, that was definitely a subliminal. That was a subliminal shot to let y'all know I'm not going to the bench. That was read between the lines. I'm not going to the bench. I'm not laying down easy. And Darvin Ham vouched for you. That was throwing Darvin Ham under the bus too, because Darvin Ham has been preaching and telling everybody how you're going to be a good soldier and you want to do anything and everything to win. And then you do that, which is literally the opposite of what somebody that wants to win. And I think Pat Bev let us know too, basically in his pod, basically saying, he's like, nah, y'all know, we all know Russ is not going to the bench. So everybody in the locker room know that's not going to happen. My concern with the whole thing that I saw with the Lakers last night, bigger than the Russ situation, is what you alluded to. I've been watching the documentary. I know, Miles, you've been watching it too, the Legacy documentary. They still haven't figured out in the front office, because Jeannie Buss extended Rob Pelinka, terrible decision. With what has he done to deserve an extension? And how did y'all think y'all was just going to reinvent the wheel? LeBron formula to win: surround with shooters. I didn't see any shooters out there. LeBron literally mentioned it in the interview. He's like, yo, we don't have anybody that shoots over 34% for career from 3-point. So LeBron obviously was watching ESPN and saw the stuff that was on Instagram pointing that out. Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, Mitch Kupchak, whoever else is making these decisions, y'all absolutely suck. Literally, y'all suck. Point blank, period. LeBron is telling y'all, and y'all come out literally after that today, and they talking about, oh yeah, we're not going to rush any trades. We're going to take 20 games. All right, y'all about to waste another great LeBron season, because LeBron, he's going to ball out. AD, I'm with every Lakers fan. I was literally cringing every time he fell. Like, is this the one? Is he going to get back up? Oh, he got back up. All right, cool. But I still have an issue with him. What he had? 5, 6 rebounds?
Yeah, I'm ridiculous.
Well, Russ took a couple rebounds from him. I'm like, damn, this guy's going real hard on the boards right now. So
That's what Russ does. He's made a
that's
career out
another
of taking rebounds from big men. Ask Steven Adams. That's what he's done. But he played well. I'm not here to criticize Russell on his play. I think he actually played a good game. I don't care about the air ball three. I don't care about that. Like, whatever. He has to take them when they're there. That's just the way the team's constructed. If he's not taking them, who's gonna take them? Seriously, I mean, it's just it's not an optimal fit. But he played a good game. It's just, don't tell me that. And look, I want to retract what I'm going to say, because I almost said don't tell me he's all about doing what's best for the team. In the right situation, him coming off the bench would make some sense. But in this situation, because of who's on the bench and how just horrible. I mean, you know how bad it'd be as an NBA team to start Lonnie Walker. I can't. Lonnie Walker is talented, but to start him,
I thought they was going to start Reeves.
I was sure they were going to start Reeves. Or they were going to start maybe Nunn. But to start Lonnie Walker, I couldn't make. And I think they thought he would play good defense. Come on, you haven't guarded Steph Curry. Are you out of your mind? He wasn't starting for the Spurs last year. What are we even talking about? It's so crazy how they could be this bad with LeBron James on the roster.
You know what's funny too about like LeBron James? Like, it ain't like he ain't know they ain't have shooters on team, right? Like, obviously it's not his call, but like he was waiting for that post game press conference, because he wanted to say something, because again he's going to create buzz around the situation. Obviously they don't have shooters, so he was waiting for that post game press conference to bring light to that situation real quick.
100%.
He's trying to put pressure on them to make a move, and it seems like they don't want to listen. And it's on some stupid nonsense of like, we don't want to make it seem like LeBron has the power. It's not even the point of LeBron has the power at this point. This is not the best team out there.
Facts.
For LeBron. It's just that simple.
For your organization, period.
You have LeBron. Like, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. Like, it seems like their mindset is basically looking towards next season of trying to get Kyrie and Draymond Green. But what about this season? Because what if, because Golden State, what if they win another chip and decide, you know what, Draymond come back at a discounted price and he says, I'm going to stay. What if the Nets have a great season outside of tonight's game? They have a great season. And Kyrie, they's like, yo, you know what? Matter of fact, let's piece it up. Kyrie's staying in Brooklyn. Then what? You left with re-upping with Lonnie Walker?
They got to make a move now. That's why the whole, trading Russ is going to happen at some point. Because you got to get something of value for him before he leaves next year. Which, I mean, you're not going to be upset that he leaves, but I would revisit that Miles Turner Buddy Hield trade.
It's the perfect trade.
Yeah.
It's the perfect trade.
Gives you more defense, more spacing.
Yeah.
You got shooters. Like Miles Turner can shoot threes. Buddy Hield's already shown that he can do it. What's the holdup? Like,
what are we talking
about? Those first round picks, because who cares about those picks at this point? You're the Lakers. Like, you gotta win right now. You gotta get some respect back, because they ran all up and down on ring night on the Lakers. So
you're trading for one of the best shooters in the world in Buddy Hield. That's the bottom line. And Miles Turner can shoot the ball really well too. And he brings that to inside defense too. When AD's having a bad night, if AD has to be subbed out, you've got Miles Turner. You can play around at the 5. It's a perfect situation, a perfect trade. What are we even talking about? Maybe even get a little sweetener in there with that deal, right? But this idea that those picks are untouchable. First of all, I don't believe that. I think that LeBron doesn't come back and sign that re-up on that deal if the Lakers don't promise him that they're going to move those picks to make the team better. I think they have an understanding. I think they're trying to be somewhat patient with Russ and see if it works. I don't know why, but I don't understand what else they need to see. I've seen this movie before. I don't want to see it again. I think everyone can agree with that, and it's time to make that move. Like, if we can make the move tomorrow, let's make the move. We should be on the phone with Indiana right now to make that trade. Bottom line. But I will say this: should that deal go through, I do not know where Russell Westbrook is going to play basketball next. That's going to be the real storyline after all this happens, because damn well, okay? Yeah, all right. You know damn well, you blowing my, you gotta be cursing on the podcast. You know damn well that Russell Westbrook is not going to end up staying, staying with the Pacers. They're gonna cut him. They're gonna cut bait. They're gonna pay him, and they're gonna move on. So who signs him next? Where does he go?
He's
That's
coming home. He's coming
Huh?
home to OKC. He's coming home.
You, that's the biggest insult to his basketball career of all time.
Man, I can't think of a team that would actually sign him
Right?
to do what he wants to do and start. I don't know where he would go because the teams that suck that will probably sign him are trying to tank. So I don't know where this man is going.
Where are you going? Your career, like, your career is on hold. He's gonna have the Carmelo situation, but the worse. He just won't be in the league for a minute. Everyone's gonna be like, "Whoa, he should be in the league. He should be in the league. He had 18, 7, and 7 last time we saw him." And people are gonna be like, "Do you remember what we saw? Do you not watch the game? Like, do you remember what we actually saw happening out there?" I don't know, man. It's gonna be a real weird, interesting conversation to have when that time comes. But hey, man, that's a big takeaway from day one was that Lakers performance. That, honestly, the Sixers and Boston game, I didn't get to watch too much of it. Boston looked really good. They scored a lot of, but those two guys, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, went crazy. So they look good. They look like a championship team. Surprise, surprise.
My biggest takeaway from that, and we can transition. My biggest takeaway from that game, if y'all want to say anything off of this, James Harden, I think, played that game trying to prove to everybody that he was the old James Harden, which I think is the worst thing for the Sixers. Because, all right, cool, he had 35 and I think 8 and 5 or something like that. That's not going. It was a lot of possessions where we was back in Houston. The game was in Boston, but when Philly got the ball, we was back in Houston. It looked real red and white. You saw the Raising Cane's outside. It looked very Houston-esque because everybody was sitting around watching. PJ Tucker, I thought he had a Houston jersey on because he was just standing in the corner watching Harden.
Yeah.
That's not going to work for Philly. Athletes, like Harden, don't listen to everybody. Y'all actually played well with Harden being like just facilitating. Get your buckets, timely buckets, and kind of play like I think Harden with this team needs to play more like Trae Young. Pick and choose when I'm going to go score and then feed the rock. Last thing, Embiid. I don't know if anybody else watched the game. I know you wasn't able to watch the game, Greg. This man had players like my size guarding him, and he's trying to. Grant Williams guarding him at one time. He's getting the ball at the elbow, acting as if he has handles and is trying to dribble in for like 6 straight possessions.
Turnover. Need to put on the turnover chain.
Embiid, he's too big. Why isn't he on the block bullying him? I couldn't understand it. And if this is how they're going to play, granted, it's one game, but if this is how they're going to play, we didn't pick them to win, but forget it. Like, Embiid not even going to get MVP. Out here settling for mid-range jump shots and getting pushed out of the paint by Grant Williams. Come on, bro.
That's an NBA problem, an NBA-wide problem you're talking about. When I saw you mentioned in the chat yesterday about him catching the ball high post and like not even like not on the block, not in the paint, not burying guys on the catch, just catching it at the high post, the free throw line extended. Watch AD's possessions. It's the same thing. Jokic does a lot of that too, but Jokic is actually good at burying guys too. He uses his size, he bullies people. He's not as athletic, so it's just a smart play on his side. But I totally agree with you. It's a real issue in the NBA in general because guys are so shot happy now. That's where the game is at. So you catch the ball, you turn it face, you think you're about to take a 15-foot jump shot. Sometimes Joel's taking step backs and taking threes, right? As big as he is. That's where the game's at. The game's messed up. Instead of AD and Joel burying guys underneath the basket, catching the ball and just going up and dunking it onto like how Shaq used to do it, how big men used to do it, how they were taught to do it. It's a totally different thing now, right? And when they run the floor, they're peeling out the 3-point line instead of running straight down the court, catching the ball, going up for a dunk or drawing a foul, right? So the game's messed up. It really is. And I think that the Steph Curry evolution of basketball has ruined it for for big men in more ways than one. This is one of those ways. I agree with what you're talking about. But with James Harden playing the way he trying to go revert back to Houston James Harden to prove a point, I think also with something you have to mention, I remember hearing Doc Rivers mic'd up during training camp, and he was telling James Harden that he had to shoot the ball and be aggressive. He's getting these directions from inside the organization to try to be the old James Harden. He is no longer the old James Harden. He has completely lost his first step. It's not there. The speed off that first step is gone. James Harden wanted to have one of the fastest first steps off that in between the leg cross in the league. When he was at the height of his power, his first step was crazy. He was beating you every time. That is no longer happening. Guys are just staying with him. I saw Jason Tatum just staying there, right? Like he's still an incredible shot maker, and he can pick his spots and still be very effective, but he's got to be looking to facilitate. And the only way the Sixers are going to have any success this year is if Tyrese Maxey takes the next step in his development and becomes that dude. And it can happen, but James got to fall back and take less shots. That's the reality of it. You can't have him trying to draw fouls 50 times a game, taking terrible shots, shimmying on dudes and all that. All right, bro. It's okay. Relax. Facilitate, get Tyrese the ball, get Embiid the ball down in the post, and everyone else will eat off of those actions. Those 3-point shots will come. So, hopefully they'll figure it out. But honestly, I don't care because I hate Philly. And if you like Philly, I don't like you. Bottom line.
You're talking about figuring it out. It seems as so far up to this point, Danny Dimes has figured it out on some level. Is he on the level of Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers? I would not go that far, but let's throw some stats out there for Danny Dimes. 67.3 completion percentage. He has a lower interception percentage than Burrow and Mahomes. He has the second highest quarterback pressure rate and is actually playing well, even though he's getting pressured a lot. And the most telling stat, he has 4 game-winning drives this season. Leads the league. Had that against the Titans, Panthers, Packers, and Ravens. And he is the most efficient quarterback in the second half. Is it time that we put some respect on that man's name of Daniel Jones?
Oh, it's time. It's time. It's finally happening. It's not happening in the sexiest way because there aren't a bunch of incredible weapons on the outside for him to throw the ball to. But I need some people to realize something, okay? We can talk about Dayball and how he's the coach of the year. Yes, he is. We can talk about Saquon, how he's probably MVP, probably the MVP candidate, leading MVP candidate this season. We can talk about it. We can talk about him being the MVP. And I would agree with you. You can talk about him being comeback player of the year. I would agree with you, right? We can talk about that. We can talk about how the Giants have the best coaching staff in football. I'd probably agree with you. We can do all that stuff. But what we're not going to do is talk about all that stuff and not talk about how great Daniel Jones has been this year. That's what I'm not going to tolerate. Bro. I got people in my DMs hitting me talking about it's your defense. It's Saquon. That's why you guys are where you guys are at. No. You don't get to 5-1 and have, I believe, 3 comeback wins this season without great quarterback play. It does not happen. And he's doing it without wide receiving help. He's doing it with no one to throw the ball to. He's throwing to me out there. That's what he's throwing to. He's throwing to Chris Johnson out there. That's what he's throwing to Miles Davenport out there. And
if he's throwing to Chris Johnson out there, it'd be touchdown. All
right, we both know better than that. This film that says otherwise. But he is out there balling right now. He's playing great football, making great decisions with the football. No matter what situation the offensive staff puts him in, he is excelling. Bottom line, he's making great decisions. He was 5 of 5 on the final drive against the Ravens to bring him down the field. He's making plays. And Saquon, yes, think about it. On these final drives, you can't run the ball as much. You don't have as much time. He is out here dicing defense up, making good decisions with the football, making plays, creating plays for his wide receivers, making all the right decisions. So I don't want to hear it, man. That guy's playing great football. And we're going to have to talk about this soon, too. He's playing his way into a bag. He's playing it, and how big the bag, what the caliber of bag is, we'll have to have a different conversation, different day. But he's playing his way into a bag. He's extending his time here as a New York Giant with his play this season. And look, with the rest of the schedule laid out the way it is, they're looking at 9-1 in the face. They're looking at 7-3 in the face. They're looking at worst 7-3 in the face. If they go 2-2 these next couple games, they're 7-3, man. This is a playoff team. This is a 10-win plus team right now. This is where we're headed. So and they're a real team. Like they're a real like threat. Like they're not gonna win a Super Bowl, sure, but they can get in the playoffs. Like that's what we're talking about right now. And the defensive line is crazy. Like this is a team here that really has to be reckoned with. And Daniel Jones is a big part of that. And by the way, if you don't believe me, that's fine. Go listen to Dayball talk about Daniel Jones. Just do that. Listen to the guy who developed Josh Allen talk about Daniel Jones. He's in love with Daniel Jones. He is. It's just the reality of it. He's smitten talking about Daniel Jones, talking about, oh yeah, he led us to another fourth quarter win. No surprise. That's what he does. Like he's popping his for Daniel Jones. He's talking that cash for Daniel Jones. That's what he's doing. So it's just important that y'all realize that. Miles over here smiling, all that stuff. I don't know why he's smiling. This quarterback thrown for 99 yards in like 4 games. So I don't know why he's smiling for. All y'all do is run the ball. Y'all play the 95 Bears, 85 Bears. I don't want to hear it. But Daniel Jones is playing great football right now. Bottom line, you need to please give him his flowers. Do that.
I hope so. He's on his second contract, right?
Yeah, whatever. Year four.
You said one thing that I can't let slide because you're backtracking on what you agreed to yesterday. You said he out here dicing defenses up. You agreed he wasn't dicing defenses up yesterday. Don't come on here talking about
in crunch time. He is dicing defense. In crunch time, he's dicing defenses up. That's what he's doing. Is it the entire game? No, they can't. They're not dropping back throwing that much because they're throwing a David Sills the third. Okay,
I mean he's throwing 27 attempts. I'd say that's a decent amount.
You're right, but it's sprinkled throughout the game, and it's mainly on those final drives. Second half, they were making those adjustments, and that's when they're really letting him throw the ball a lot more because they want to establish on Saquon Barkley. I don't blame him. Hit home runs with Saquon. Gonna hit 4 or 5 home runs a game. That's how good he is right now. So feed him the rock. I'm just saying, Daniel Jones, when it matters, he makes plays. I
don't think anybody on this podcast is disagreeing with you that we need to give Daniel Jones his flowers. He's been great at protecting the football for one this year. It shows in his interception ratio, his fumble ratio. He's been doing a great job in that aspect where he struggled in the past. But Saquon is a huge part of those game-winning drives, regardless if Daniel Jones is quarterback. Saquon is a huge, huge part of those game-winning drives. You talk about week 3 for Daniel Jones, going back to week 3, week 4, and week 5. How many touchdowns did he throw in the course of those games?
You know, I'm not off the top of my head.
A big fat zero. He had a 3-game stretch where he ain't throwing no touchdowns, bro. So I don't want to hear about Daniel Jones. He this Hall of Famer. He this great quarterback.
Daniel Jones
bro,
you're not going to do this.
No.
You're not going to do it.
You go 3 weeks in a row without throwing an interception, and you want to talk about him in the same breath as
that interception. That's great. I think
get up out of here. You're not talking about him in the same breath.
He said without an interception, right, guys? I'm just making sure he said that. So I prefer it. You said without an interception. You said 3 straight games without an interception. He's gone a while.
Excuse me. 3 straight games without a touchdown. 3 straight games without a touchdown.
Hold on, I'm not going to let you do that.
Week 4 and week 5 against the Packers.
I am not going to let you do that when Daniel Jones is out here throwing the ball to Drewski. That makes no sense. Daniel Jones throwing the ball to Drewski every game, then there's no way that we can hold touchdowns.
No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that because you've been high on Wan'Dale Robinson.
Wan'Dale hasn't played. Wan'Dale played yesterday, and he threw for 2 touchdown passes, including one to him. When Wan'Dale plays, he's effective, right? So, and he's effective without him. The point is, on those game-winning drives, they're asking him to make big throws, and he is making big throws on those drives. They don't always finish with touchdown passes, but he's making big throws on those drives. He's doing everything they need him to do. And I just need people to get on the bandwagon before it's too late. Because by the end of the season, y'all gonna be singing a different song. I'm telling you. And he's playing his way into a bag. He's going to be here. Giants fans, prepare yourself. He's going to be here. Because when the Giants finish with 10-plus wins, you ain't about to go get no crazy. You ain't getting no C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. You're not getting one of them. And that's okay. Because this organization's proven that if you support Daniel Jones, like I've been saying for God knows how long, and the support hasn't even been that great. It's just better O-line play. That's it.
You've been saying what for how long?
If you support Daniel Jones, that he can be a good quarterback in this league, what I've been saying for God knows how long, we're here. We're here. That's all I'm saying. We're here.
But let's just remind the listeners too that you wanted Russ in the offseason.
I don't want Russ in I don't want Russ.
You wanted them to trade for Russ in the offseason.
I said you make a call on it to do due diligence. I wasn't all hype on it. I didn't care about Russ. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed about Russ. And thank God, because Daniel Jones better than him right now. Daniel Jones better than Russell Wilson. Let's ride right now. That's it. Yeah, let's hide. What Miles got to say? He's sitting there on his phone acting like he's too cool. What you got to say?
What about Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
He's been cool. He's been a cool quarterback to watch this year. I mean,
Cool
it's better
quarterback.
than it's been better than most years. So I'll give him his flowers, but I don't know. We still got to see this for a full season. I'm not sold just yet, but he has looked good so far. You know, he's dinking and dunking, but hey, this is what you got to do when there's nobody to throw to.
I
So
don't want to hear Duncan and Duncan. He's completing it was 3rd and 14. Dime to Slayton. You pull these highlights, as I'm saying it, pull the highlights up. 3rd and 14, dime to Slayton on a crazy dig route. Hit him right in stride. And actually, he's three in the middle of a zone. He throws it towards the ground. Slayton goes to the ground, catches to protect his wide receiver. That's how accurate he is. It was like third and 12. Wandale Robinson hits a whip route, hits him right over the middle. Yo, man, I am telling you, the man makes big throws. Danny Dimes is an accurate nickname. He is accurate with the football. 67% completion. Hey, I'll give you another stat because I came here with stats. That I saw on Pro Football Focus that his true completion percentage, accounting for drops, because again, he's throwing Drewski, accounting for drops, he has the highest completion percentage in the league at 81%, higher than anybody else. Mahomes, Burrow, Zachary, Wilson, everyone. No one has a better one. He's number one in the league, 81%. And we ain't talking about no dick and dunks. We talking about big time, money down
Swing routes to Saquon.
my brother in Christ.
We don't talk about actually.
This
We
is
don't.
not this is not what we care about. PFF.
We
don't
talking
care
about
about
shovel
that.
passes. What are we doing?
Shovel passes, you're crazy. Yeah, both wrong. Hey, Antonio, do right by Daniel Jones. Pull up his highlights. He has plenty of money down throws you can post on here. We can run that shit for like 5 minutes. All right, I'm just saying.
Talking about 81%.
81%. Hey, Chris, don't talk too loud because the Bengals are 3-3. Don't talk too loud.
Bengals are 3-3 with a harder schedule.
Don't talk too loud.
Bengals are 3-3 with the third hardest schedule in
Keep your voice
football.
down.
Bengals are 3-3 with the third hardest schedule in football. Don't come at me. We're gonna be just fine because we about to go on a 5-game win streak right now with our schedule.
All right. Remember he said that. Yeah, say that clip.
We gonna have some dirty bird on Sunday.
I don't know. They've been real gritty lately. So
They have.
don't sleep.
Deep fry them.
Week 6 takeaways, man. I'll start off. One of my biggest week 6 takeaways, which a lot of people are not talking about because it's not that important or that sexy of a conversation, but Billy Zappi. I don't think Mac Jones could get that starting job back whenever he come back. Bailey Zappi, in the 3 games he played, has a passer rating of 100 or better in each single game, 596, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Compared to Mac Jones, 786, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. You got to sit that man down. Bailey Zappi. Now, I know Jerry Jones with a quarterback controversy with Cooper and Dak. No, this is where the real quarterback competition is at over in New England. Star Bailey Zappi. And Kyler Murray, that man needs Hopkins more than ever. Like,
They just lost
More than Greg need a cut. Need him bad. Real bad.
Hey Chris, I'm gonna take you to get a real haircut someday.
You
I'm
keep
saying,
saying
man.
that, but what you say?
talking because I'm talking.
What did you say last time I got a cut? I inspected I ain't see no flaws. Come on, man. My barber does this.
It's hit or miss at you, man. It's hit or miss.
No. My barber does this.
You're hit. It's hit and miss, man. You got. I don't know, bro. It's like I don't know. It's like Jack Carl. Your haircut's like Jack Carlo's catalog. Like it's just hit or miss. I don't know what I'm gonna get with you. I don't know.
I know you ain't just comparing me to Jack Harlow, RJ Barrett. Stop it.
Yo, you saying RJ Barrett is anti-black. Is anti-black. I'm gonna call the NAACP on you. That's anti-black. That's anti-black.
What were some of y'all biggest takeaways from week 6?
Now, real quick to your point about Bailey Zappi, though, Bill Belichick's been known to ride the hot hand. I don't think he's afraid at all of sitting Mac Jones down if Bailey Zappi keep balling out.
He'll get his job back.
Why do you think that?
McCorkle?
I think he's their guy. I think they schemed this up nice for Bailey Zappi, but I think that's their guy. I mean, they wouldn't have taken him in the first round. And then year 2, you give up on him after, playing a game and a half, 2 games? I don't think that's gonna happen. But I could be wrong. We could be seeing another Tom Brady thing, but I just don't see it.
I think Bill will do it. I think Bill has the stones to do it. If any coach it has the rapport and has the staying power, has whatever you want to call it, the corners to do it is Bill. Bill will sit Mac McCorkle down with no remorse and ride the hot hand for as long as Zappy will take him. So I think people should get used to seeing Zappy for a little bit because the results when my man was out there and when Mac was out there was not the best. So I think they're going to give this a real go. He's playing good football. And again, the longer Mac is out, the worse it gets. So I'm going to say this is not, what's it called? Cooper Rush versus and Dak. It's not that because it was never a conversation. By the way,
the worse it gets for Mac?
The worse it gets for Mac. The longer it's out, the worse it gets. This is not Dak versus Cooper Rush. There was never a conversation to actually be had there. Jerry Jones is just an idiot who's just trying to rile people up. The reality is Dak Jones was always going to come back. Dak Prescott was always going to come back and be the starting quarterback. That was always going to be the reality of the situation. So it's all cute and fun in games, but we saw what Cooper looked like on Sunday night. We saw what Bailey Zappi looked like on Sunday afternoon, and I'm telling you, man, there's a chance that guy's going to be here for a little bit. They'll ride the hot hand for a little bit.
I think another takeaway too, like. Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What was your takeaway? Go ahead.
It's a different game, but
go ahead. I'm done talking about
the Jets going up to Lambeau and getting it done. Obviously wasn't the prettiest of quarterback play. We're gonna get that out right now.
Didn't have to be.
What?
It was just the running game. That was it.
Yeah, the running game was hot, but look, Zach Wilson struggling to get 10 completions on 18 attempts. That was pretty ugly. But yes, Breece Hall is that guy. He's going to be a good duo with Michael Carter going forward. And you guys play smash mouth football in that sense. But I think the defense is where y'all really stand out. Sauce Gardner, I knew what Sauce Gardner was for the past few years when he was at Cincy. I watched the games every Saturday. Y'all just catching up now. But Sauce is that guy. Sauce is that guy. DJ Reed's that guy on the outside, and what they were able to do against a struggling Green Bay offense. And you think after their loss in London to the Giants, they were going to come back and get it going at home. Look, the Jets defense is for real. I'm not sure about their offense, but the Jets defense is for real. And if the Jets can go ahead and get Garrett Wilson involved more and Elijah Moore involved more, along with that strong running game that you guys got, the play action going to go crazy. If Zach Wilson is consistent.
Hey, yes, big if. I agree, big if. But I will say this: just a couple things I want to. You have to remember this. We talk about defense. It's fine. Don't forget about Quinnen Williams. He's the second best interior lineman this season, behind Dexter New York.
Look,
he's the best one. Chill out.
He's the second best defensive interior lineman.
He's better than that guy.
Then who? The one guy. Say his name. Say his name.
You talking about Kayvon or
Ojolari? Say that brother's name. I don't know it.
No. Sexy Dexy. Say his name.
Sexy Dexy. I'm never saying
Dexter Lawrence.
You just said it.
I'm never saying it.
Nah, but Greg, to your point, there's a big reason why Quinnen Williams is able to get home. DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner tying up them wide receivers, allowing him to get more time to get to the quarterback. It all starts at the cornerback play. You take away those wide receivers, those defensive linemen can get home.
Speak on it. He's preaching. Pastor CJ is preaching today. Hey, and I'll say this. My man Dexter Lawrence. You blow him. My man Dexter Lawrence, he's getting to the quarterback with a guy named Fabian Moreau in coverage. He ain't got no time. He's getting home though. He's sacking Lamar Jackson in big critical downs. That's all I'm gonna say. But we're not comparing. Talk about the Jets. Let's talk about the Jets. Okay. The run game's been phenomenal. The defense has been phenomenal. They're a viable team in the AFC. They really could make it to the playoffs. But Chris's point is valid. I'm glad we're talking about it because the maligned quarterback on the other side with the Giants, we still talking about Daniel Jones like he ain't him. We'll figure it out soon come. But y'all we're not talking about Zach Wilson. Why not? Why are we not talking about Zach Wilson? They're running the ball. It's a Kyle Shanahan offense. That's fair.
Because there was no passing lanes open. If you watched the game, you would have known that. You was busy watching.
It's no passing lanes open. What do you mean?
Against Green Bay? They got a good secondary. What are we talking about? Jair Alexander is one of the top.
I just watched Daniel Jones fry them. He was frying them. 21-27, killing them. Those pass lanes that day.
Saquon had like what, 14 catches?
No, he didn't. Hey, fact check him. This guy, this is Miles Trump. Hey, freeze frame Miles' head and put Trump on his head right quick. Just put a splash effect on his head. It's Miles misinformation right here.
Look, I gotta say one more thing about Zach Wilson too, because here's my concern with him. The game that Breece Hall just played, where he ran for how many yards, 166, whatever the case was, teams are going to start to overplay that run. They're going to understand that this is a very good New York Jets rushing football team, and they're going to overplay the run, and they're going to force Zach Wilson to sit in the pocket and throw the ball. And if he's struggling to get 10 completions like he did against Green Bay, which is a very good secondary, you guys got the Bills coming up, and you got – who else you got coming up? You got the Denver Broncos coming up. That Denver Broncos secondary, they're scary. They're going to overplay that run, and they're going to force your boy to sit in the pocket and make some big-time throws. We talking about some Burrow-type throws. Some, as Greg alluded to, some Daniel Jones type throws, all right? On that third and 14 dig routes, Miles. Can Zach Wilson do that?
We're gonna see. I know he's not making 3-3 throws right now.
Because I know you high right now on 4-2. I know you high right now on 4-2, but you got the Denver Broncos coming up and the Bills coming up. So
you good.
Yo, he's crazy, bro.
11 wins, right?
11 wins, yeah.
I love it.
A lot closer than y'all will be.
You guys, bro, we won 3 out of our
cold in Ohio.
Look, we may have started on 2.
It's sunny in Philadelphia. It's cold in Ohio.
We may have started 0-2, but we won 3 of the last 4. We're gonna keep this thing rolling. We figuring it out.
Keep feeding Jamar.
Hey, because he got him on fantasy.
Hey, we could talk about the Bengals if y'all want to.
He's not even on TV.
Before we talk about the Bengals game, and we're gonna get there, I just want to say I'd be remiss if I did not say the Giants.
Andy Dalton.
The Giants are a top 5 team in the NFL. Okay, big takeaway. Giants are a top 5 team in the NFL right now. Just all I'm gonna say. They're for real. Respect them. They beat Lamar Jackson. That's a big deal. That's a really, really big deal. Just saying. Yeah. Okay, not a fluke. None of these wins are fluke wins. All right. They're handling business. All I'm gonna say, this Giants team is serious. They're to be reckoned with. So we're here. But okay, we on to the next takeaway. I've waxed poetic about the Giants enough on the podcast. I'm sure the Giants fans got their fix.
Nah, bro, it's cool to see. It's cool to see you excited about them because look, like you said, they truly are bought in. You saw it in Kayvon Thibodeau's video after the game where he's doing that little selfie video of how happy he is to be there and and bro, that's a testament to the culture that they got going on there. So I'm curious to see how far they can take it because again, Dable ain't no slouch. We saw what he did with Josh Allen and the quarterback he turned him into. So let's see what he can do with Daniel Jones.
It's already working wonders. You know it's crazy when Miles don't got a lot to say. That's all I'm gonna say.
About what?
When Miles ain't got no hating. When Miles don't got no hating commentary for you, you know you're doing well. I'm just saying you ain't got nothing to say. You can't poo-poo on my parade, and I can.
Why would I gave him his props.
Just making sure.
Give him a medal or something. I don't understand.
You should give him one of your medals real quick. You got in your room from track in 8th grade.
Yo, you mentioned we talked all this good talk about the Giants. You said they were the top 5 team in the NFL. The top team in the NFL has to be right now the Philadelphia Eagles. Still undefeated, playing well on both sides of the ball. One of the biggest components for them on that defensive side is Darius Slay. Would you rather Darius Slay edition? Would you rather Darius Slay, Marlon Humphrey?
Slay right now.
Marlon Humphrey pre-injury, but Slay right now.
You're right. Slay right now.
Jair Alexander.
Jair.
You a big Jair fan.
Jair cold. Jair.
I'm going Slay. They
don't throw it as high.
Yeah, but it's a little weird how you be rooting for Jair like y'all hometown buddies like.
I know people, man. Jair, man. Jair. They don't throw it. They don't throw it
You a
inside of the field.
cheesehead, huh?
I don't know cheesehead though. No, cheesehead. That's like it's basically calling me a Republican.
Xavier Howard.
We talking about Xavier Howard.
Yeah. Are we talking about right now?
I got lost for a second. I thought you were talking about Xavier Rhodes.
If you said yes,
No.
You still said yes?
No, I'm talking about that career year he had with the Vikings. But I'm going with Xavier Howard
now. That's why.
What you say?
He's high on the Vikings. That's what it is.
Oh, that's right.
My boy Kurt getting it done. You see him with the iced out chains too. That boy Kurt going crazy.
He's racist.
I gotta send you the video. Bro, they put the chains all on Kurt. He going crazy.
Oh hell no.
Yo, Kirk for the culture, low key.
Don't do that. Stop doing that.
Yo, you crazy, man. This is crazy.
You see, that's what's wrong, bro. He saw that Baker Mayfield video of him dancing, doing the whip, and he's like, "Oh, he's invited to the cookout." That was Chris, bro. He was that dude.
Trayvon Diggs.
Darius Slay, easy.
Look, wait, hold on. Let's touch on that real quick. Why you say easy? Because I'm gonna give my point of view in a second.
Because he's a technical corner who can actually mirror wide receivers in and out of breaks, and he just plays the position beautifully. He plays it more soundly than Trayvon Diggs, who's gonna take chances.
I agree with that. I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say that they both play aggressive, but Trayvon Diggs, he plays aggressive way too much, where he's just ball hawking and being aggressive, where Darius Slay knows, like, the one thing about Darius Slay that makes him great is he is a ball hawk, right? But he knows like what plays to take chances on that aren't super risky, as where Trayvon Diggs just seems to like, oh, I can make a play on this, and then ends up getting burned, right? So glad you noticed that.
I know football.
Yo, check the chat, bro. Check out my boy Kurt with the iced out.
This is ridiculous.
Iced out neck. He be hanging with Lil Baby, bro.
What are you talking about? Kirk's a Mormon.
He's a
Kirk be soaking it. He be soaking. You don't know soaking is. Look it up, kids.
Chill. I'll send that to the chat later. We're not talking about soaking on the show.
No, I gotta look that up. That's crazy.
Look up soaking, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Soaking in Utah, specifically soaking in Utah. That's what you gotta look up. It's something that only happens in Utah, and Greg would bring it up on the show. We just going to go to week 7 pick'ems, bro. Falcons are 3-3. Bengals are 3-3. Have the Bengals actually turn this around? Looking at their schedule, they could go on a 3-game winning streak from here on out. The next 3 games, they definitely are in a position to win. They could be 6-3 at the end of all of this, 7-3. Who y'all got? Falcons at Bengals.
I gotta take the Bengals. I'll take the Bengals here. I think they're figuring it out. I gotta take the Bengals. I know that the NFL is a crazy place where teams who aren't supposed to win games, and the Falcons are one of those annoying teams. But I'm gonna go with the Bengals here. I just think that him and Jamar and Joe Burrow have seemed to have found their chemistry. And if there's any defense that's gonna stop him, it won't be the Falcons. I don't think they have the cornerback play to stop my man. I mean, Terrell's good. Sure, AJ Terrell's pretty good, but is he stopping Jamar for real? I don't know. Come on, Miles. Miles. I know you want to have fun with Chris. I know he's 3-3. It's cool. It's been fun, but let's be serious.
Oh, you fart? You covered your nose like you farted.
What?
You in your room stinking it up?
No, I'm thinking about this stupid pick I gotta make. More in that game. That's what.
Yo.
Go ahead, make your pick, bro.
I'm gonna take the Falcons.
I can't win, bro. 11 wins for the Jets, and he's gonna take the Falcons. Hey, it could go.
Why?
You said y'all would win what, 13? And
I did not say 13. I did not say 13 at all. I knew we had the third hardest schedule. I said 9.
Really? You said 9?
I don't think you said 9.
You said 9?
We can run the 10. I didn't say more than 9. I could tell you that. I know I didn't say more than 9.
9's low.
We got the third hardest schedule.
Damn, 9? Oh, 9.
No, Falcons are on the schedule, so
Hey, why are you picking the Falcons? Why are you picking the Falcons?
I don't know. They've been playing a lot better. No, I didn't mean like I don't know, but it's funny. For some reason, this like way they're playing, where it's kind of erratic with Marcus Mariota doing this like RPO, and it's still working. Like they don't really pass the ball, but they keep this game real slow, low scoring, and that's how they're winning right now. So, and the defense isn't that they're not playing that bad. Like I said, AJ Terrell is a threat on defense. He's been locking up most of this year. And is T. Higgins coming back this week?
T. Higgins was back last week.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
This guy.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Chris.
This man Miles is funny. I love you, bro, though. You keep it interesting for sure. You already know who I'm picking. I'm gonna be at the game. You might see me on TV. I'm gonna go crazy. I might be with the dude that has the orange face and the black crazy hair and all
Oh,
that.
you mean the big pussycat?
Stop it, bro. Stop it. We're not even going there. But nah, I'm picking the Bengals. I think, and I don't pick the Bengals every week, but this is a game. I bought tickets for this game because I thought we could win. I bought tickets back in June for this game because I thought we could win. I want to go see a game where we can win. We already came up to MetLife and whooped up on them Jets and got that dub. Now we're going to go back home and we're going to get this dub against the Falcons. And here's why. We talked about play calling for the Bengals early on and how much of a struggle it has been to the start of the season. And they're starting to figure it out. These past 3 games, the line has looked much better. Lael Collins still a little shaky at times, but last week he played pretty well. He played pretty well. But in terms of like running the football, Joe Mixon hasn't been so great this year, but we finally got some things going and we've been doing it at a shotgun. We only went on a center twice last week. Everything's been at a shotgun. RPO was built into a bunch of different plays. And Joe looks extremely comfortable. 300 yards last week against the Saints, which is a pretty good defense. And the thing that works for the Bengals is like Miles talked about, AJ Terrell is going to shut down Jamar Chase. That's fine. We got T. Higgins. We got Tyler Boyd and Hayden Hurst to throw to as well. You can't guard us all. And we showed that last week against the Saints. It was just too versatile. We were just spreading the ball around, multiple receptions by our wide receiving core and our tight end. So, look, man, I'm going with the Bengals. The only thing that I'm worried about is the defense could not stop the run against the Saints last week. It was horrendous. We couldn't stop the run. And that's going to be a key for us this week. You know, the offense had to step up and finally win the game for us when the defense couldn't, and we did. So hopefully the defense is back this week and the offense can continue to put up points.
Giants will be 6-1 this week at Jaguars.
I haven't picked I actually haven't picked the Giants in the last 3 weeks. If you guys have been following the show, I've been picking against them. Right? This is the classic trap game, but I do think they're well coached, and it would be disingenuous for me to pick against the Giants right now. But that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick the Jaguars to win this game because it's just working. Okay, it's working. The Giants keep winning these games, so I'll pick the Jaguars to win this game, even though I think it's wild that the money line opened up with the Jaguars as favorites. It makes no sense. The Giants aren't getting the respect they deserve yet by people in Vegas. That's fine. Look, I know the Jaguars have a good defensive line. I know that the Giants have a good offensive line. It's a career. I can't believe I'm saying that. The Giants have a good offensive line. They're playing good football right now, and the best offensive lineman in football by a mile. So I think that they're going to be able to have some success here. I'm picking the Jaguars. This feels like a trap game, but I think the Giants will win this game and ultimately be 6-1. So y'all take of that what y'all want, but I have to pick the Jaguars on the record because every time I pick against the Giants, it's working. We're winning games, so I'm not going to change it. But I do expect the Giants to win the game. That's all I'm going to say. They don't have a big game. They can give us some yards through the air. Hey, Matt Ryan threw for like 400 yards last week, right?
360 something.
That's a lot.
But Daniel Jones ain't gonna be dicing them up like.
Why not?
Because Matt Ryan had people to throw to. Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce. You just mentioned that Daniel Jones has no one to throw to.
Wandell is back. Back. He'll be throwing to Wandell. Darius Slayton is emerging, playing good football. He'll be throwing to him. They have a really good chemistry together. And I think that Saquon will get involved in the passing game too. And our rookie tight end, Daniel Bellinger, is playing really good football right now too. He'll get involved. I think they'll find creative ways to get involved in the passing game. I think that he'll have his best game through the air. Daniel Jones will have his best game through the air in this game. Also, Doug Peterson, for what it's worth, did say this morning that he can't sleep on Daniel Jones. So I'm just saying, Daniel Jones is that dude.
If he said anything else, he'd be making headlines. So he said the right thing.
Nah, relax. You're like
They asked him a question and he had to give an answer. So he gave the best answer where he wouldn't get flagged.
No, don't do that because you know damn well that these coaches are very honest about quarterback play, a la Ron Rivera and Carson Wentz. They can be honest when they mean what they say out here too. It ain't all coaches speak. It's not the first coach I've heard speak positive about Daniel Jones. I'm just saying, don't.
That's probably a fair thing. You can't sleep on Daniel Jones, but what did you expect him to say? Daniel Jones is trash?
If he thought it was trash, he wouldn't have said what he said. That's all I'm saying.
No, he would. Certain coaches, not Doug Peterson.
All right, whatever. Well, Doug about to get whooped on.
Listen,
but
I'm picking the Jaguars. Jaguars are on a 3-game losing streak. I think they bounce back this week. They got off to a hot start.
I love you.
They've been in a little bit of a slump.
I love you.
Trevor Lawrence has been playing great. 20 of 22 last week, 165 yards, only 1 touchdown. But like the one thing about him this year is he's protecting the ball and he's completing a lot of passes with his attempts. So I think they get it going this week against the Giants.
Are they keeping him clean, the offensive line? Because last time I checked, Dexter Lawrence.
He was sacked. He was sacked 4 times last. He was sacked 4 times last.
What do you think is about to happen against the Giants? It's about to get dicey over there.
No. They will get it right.
Dicey. They're going to get it right.
They're going to make adjustments. They're going to watch some film, and they're going to get it right.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Doug. Miles, what about you?
I'm taking the Giants. I think y'all going to.
Oh, you're taking the Giants, but you're not taking the Bengals.
They're going to make things happen.
Wow.
Well, because y'all the Bengals. All right, so.
And what are the Giants?
Whoa. Hey. Relax. I have Super Bowls. I have rings.
On that.
Relax. I got rings. Don't. I ain't. I'm not talking about I almost won. I won rings. Come with respect. You loud as hell.
I don't know why you laughing. We in the same boat, buddy.
Oh, shoot.
I got a paddle. You got a paddle. We in that same boat.
It is what it is, dog.
Who are you talking to, Tone, right now?
Nah, Miles.
Oh.
Cowboys got rings.
We got one a long time ago. What did the Bengals get? Almost. You guys got a second place banner, but we're talking about the Giants, right? Yeah, I think Daniel Jones is going to come out and he's going to play decent football, and they're going to feed off the run. This is a game where I think Saquon blows the lid off the place.
Really?
Is it home or it's in Jacksonville?
It's in Jacksonville, and the D-line's not bad. Are you sure that's the way you want to
take? I was about to say, Josh Allen not playing, Miles?
I mean, I'm not worried about no Josh Allen. He's not. Hey, watch film of Andrew Thomas handling Josh Allen in college. Give me a break. I ain't worried about that. I had the best left tackle in football. Really, what I'm talking about is the interior defensive line. They have a good interior defensive line. That pick they made, the first round pick. What's that? First overall pick. What's that guy's name? Can't remember his name, bro. What's that guy's name? He's so he was such a surprise pick. The Jaguars made the number 1 pick, and it was like this interior defensive lineman. I'm just forgetting his name. But he's been playing good football. All right, and I think that's going to matter.
Trayvon Walker.
There you go. Trayvon Walker. So I think that's going to matter in the run game, controlling it. I think that's going to keep Saquon under. Saquon will still get his 90 yards because that's what he does. He's a machine. But the big plays may be limited. So I think that it'll be more of an emphasis in the pass game this week for the Giants. But I think they'll win the game. But I'm picking the Jaguars just because you know how that go. You know what I'm doing. Reverse psychology.
I need the Giants to lose so y'all quiet down a little bit.
It's funny though, because I think Greg's picking the Giants, but he's just saying he's not. Because he's saying he's picking the Jaguars, but he's like, yo, we're gonna whoop up on them, but we're also gonna lose. But he's like, yo, make your mind up, dog. What is it?
I made up my mind. I told you it's reverse psychology. I'm picking them all the Jaguars on the record because every time I pick against the Giants, they win. So I'm just sticking with it. I'm not messing up a good thing.
Last one. Jets are at Let's Ride. How do y'all see this one going out?
Broncos. He might not even play, so I think
he picked the Broncos with quickness.
Who? Wait, who might not play?
Russell Wilson.
He's got a hamstring injury.
His hamstring not unlimited?
Mr. Unlimited.
I'm about to say, Mr. Unlimited. He gonna be back.
He's looking limited right now.
That defense is something serious.
Yeah, I
He
think
is looking
I
limited.
would take us even if he was healthy. So
I don't blame him. I can't say I blame Nas for this one. I'm sorry. I'm not. I can't pick.
what
I
has this
can't pick Let's
offense
Drive.
done to show me that like I'm afraid of what they're gonna do?
Yeah, for real.
They got all
Honestly.
these weapons, but yet Melvin Gordon's got like 3 carries last game. Jerry Judy's not getting targets. Sutton's not getting targets. So, and that's with this $250 million quarterback. So, I'm rocking with my team again.
Hey,
So,
the kicker has half of the points that the
That's
Broncos
crazy.
have all season.
The worst kept secret is that they have Brian Hoyer dressed up in a Russell Wilson suit playing football this year, and it's just not going well. It's just not going well. So I can't pick. I'm not. I'll pick the Jets. All engines are go. Let's fly.
Real quick, right? Quick answer on this one, especially coming from you, Greg. Smoke Alert sent this to us, and he wanted to have our opinion. So, of course, we love to hear from our followers, our listeners, the people that rock with us, the Bench Mob Ent fam.
Mm-hmm.
If you did the 2018 NFL draft over and the Giants pick specifically, do you go Saquon Still or do you go Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
Josh Allen or Lamar. I'd go Josh Allen though, if I could redo it all over again. Josh Allen. But I also the coaching staff to maximize him was never here. But you still take the quarterback over the running back. I mean, as great as Josh Allen is, it's a no-brainer. And I love Saquon, but I love Saquon. Saquon's is a gold jacket guy. He's that good. He's Barry Sanders 2.0. But Josh Allen is the undisputed like easy choice here because the quarterback has so much more value. And as great as he is, if you got the right coaches in the building, man, imagine where we'd be at. Yeah, I'd take Josh Allen. Although it's okay, I got Daniel Jones, but still, Josh Allen. I think, and by the way, I would do I do it in this order: Josh Allen, Lamar, then Saquon. I take Josh Allen over Lamar. Kills me to do this, but I think we can all agree Josh Allen's the best quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in football, if not the best, outside of Patrick Mahomes. I don't know, and he outdueled them. I don't know, man. Tough.
So we just talked about the draft. Based off the Alabama-Tennessee game, there are some players that definitely their stock went up in that game. Tennessee upsets Bama. Not many expected it, but Bama, the last 3-4 weeks have been in close games where they're luckily getting out. It finally caught up to them. What were y'all biggest takeaways from watching this game and seeing Bama actually lose?
First off, you love to see it. You love to see it. I mean, that's all I did Saturday was sit and watch that game. And, I haven't watched Alabama much this year. I've been watching a lot of Ohio State and Georgia, but Bryce Young coming off that shoulder injury, you wanted to see what he was going to play like. And he balled out. He balled out. I mean, 450 something yards, only 2 touchdowns. But again, when you're throwing 52 attempts and you're completing 30 plus, you're having a good game. But the problem that I have with Alabama, too many penalties, and they weren't playing defense. Like there's no reason that game should have been that high scoring, right? It was very poor secondary play, especially on the Alabama side. It was kind of like a shootout, and at the end of the day, like 17 penalties for 130 yards on Alabama side, like come on, that's horrible. That's not good football at all. There's no reason Alabama shouldn't have won that game. They had plenty even with Hendon, what's his name? The quarterback for Tennessee.
Hendon Hooker. Even with him throwing 5 touchdowns to Jalen Hyatt, at the end of the day, like there were so many chances for Alabama to win that game, and they just kept biting themselves in the foot, or whatever the saying is. It was bad.
Do we think Tennessee is going to be an actual playoff team this year?
They could be. I mean, that's the first step. You got to go through Alabama, and they did that. So now, I mean, if they make it to the conference championship, they got to go through Georgia. So if they can do that, sure. But everybody knows the SEC sometimes takes 2 teams, but they just got to make sure they win every other game up until that point.
Are we looking at Hendon Hooker as an actual Heisman candidate?
I mean, when you put
I
a
don't see
name
how you
like
can.
that, yeah. And then when's the last time Tennessee was up this high? Like Peyton Manning? I don't know. It's been one of those years where I've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen, but I didn't expect an upset like that last week. Like I just assumed like Bama was getting Bryce Hooker,
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young back, and they'd roll tide. But I mean, things don't work like that. You got to come and show up on Saturdays.
They usually
In
do work
college
like that
football.
though. Like
Was-
99.9% of the time, it works like that. They roll tide.
No,
That's the
facts.
crazy part.
Yeah, but like you said, the defense is not up to what you expect. Like they
Oh,
got
yeah,
Will
yeah, I agree.
Anderson, they got Will Anderson, but that's about it. Like the secondary is suspect, and we've seen
Yeah.
that in past games. Like they almost lost to Texas A&M because they were giving up big plays. So
Yeah.
I think it was more shocking too, just because of the fact that like it's not like Tennessee's been this powerhouse of a school that's been good in years past. Like they've been very, very mid. And you know, this coach has only been in the seat for the past 2 years. They've been going through coaches like people go through groceries. You know, it's not they haven't had that stability that Alabama has had over the past year. I mean, this is the first time they beat a top 10 school since 2006, 15 years, they were saying. And that's why it was such a big deal. I mean, you see Jalen Hyatt in the locker room like this, smoking a cigar with Peyton Manning. You know, they were going crazy. And I think Hendon Hooker coming from Virginia Tech and playing against some of these big time schools and showing that he can compete with the best of them. Because if you look at his numbers, he protected the football as well. He had one interception, but when you have one interception to 5 touchdowns, and you only miss 8 or 9 throws throughout the entire game, that's good quarterback play. And the thing that I liked about his game too is like he didn't hesitate to run the football. He didn't sit in that pocket and wait around to get sacked and try to force something and make something happen. He tucked that thing and he ran it.
He's like 30 years old, by the way, Hendon Hooker.
He's
old.
what?
He's like 30 years old. He's very old.
Wow.
all right, don't do that.
He's old, man.
You joking or are you serious?
He's not that
He's
old.
he's like 30. He's like, he's got kids.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, you almost give me a heart attack for that. I'm like, how?
Yeah, he's like 25. He's old, bro. He's 25, Miles.
I said transfer portal.
Let me see.
Nah, he's old, bro.
He's 24. He's 24. Relax.
Honestly,
He'll be 25 in January, though.
When you talk about his draft prospects, he's that old, man. Come on now.
He'll be a solid backup somewhere when he gets to the league.
All right.
The
You gonna
Giants
be
are
like,
for a
you gonna be like
backup.
Des. He gonna be like Desmond. Your boy Desmond.
Yeah, I Desmond about to start next year. Cincy. Y'all keep making these Desmond Ritter jokes, bro.
We coming to the end of the show.
The
Thank
Irish.
y'all for that has been watching so far. Make sure you subscribe, share this with somebody. We don't talk about it often, but I know this was requested that we touch on it. I don't think we're gonna have that much to say on it, but Deontay Wilder, first round knockout. It was asked who we think would be a best opponent for him to fight next.
Michael B. Jordan. That's who.
Michael B. Jordan.
Like, I don't care about Deontay Wilder anymore. Like he lost his chance when he lost to Tyson Fury, and then he's fighting Tyson Fury Jr. on Saturday night. Like it's a joke. Like he's kind of a joke at this point. So, I mean, he can keep fighting, but once you lose to a guy 3 times, it's like it's kind of washed.
Mm.
So,
What is he known for saying? What was his? What did he say?
To this day.
To this day. To this day. Yeah.
well, he should fight Anthony Joshua.
I was about to say the same
two
thing.
bums. 2 bums.
Damn, 2 bums. Why the black man got to be bum, Miles? Why we
Anthony
doing
Joshua used to be nice.
He used to be. They both used to be nice, but then they got hit by something stupid.
Keep going too long.
I'll be honest. To this day, I don't care about Deontay Wilder.
No.
Nah, I don't know, bro. Who should he fight now? Hey, I don't know. I feel like y'all fight Tyson Fury again. One more time. Let's go for the trilogy.
Happen. he literally lost to him 3 times. Like that.
Wait,
first
3
fight-
times? It was 3 times he fought him
No,
already?
he lost twice, but that first one he was dominating him, and he just got hit towards the end. So they kind of gave it as a tie, but I don't know. I don't see Deontay Wilder as a threat anymore to Tyson Fury.
While we're on this topic, is heavyweight boxing really a thing? Do people really like tune into this thing seriously? Like, or is this like I feel like boxing is just not as prevalent or as popular in pop culture as it used to be.
Well,
I think they pay attention more to the Shakur Stevensons of the world.
Yeah, the
Devin
lightweight.
Haney's, yeah.
Yeah, they love Devin Haney's, the Shakurs. They like those guys. Obviously,
Hank,
Floyd.
Javonta,
Yeah, is he what weight's he in? Middleweight.
135, I think.
So he's one of those like lightweight guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he Tank? Yeah, people like
Nobody's
that.
trying to see these big boys tussling.
Oh boy. Well, hey, I'm just wondering.
Glass hooks.
I'm just wondering because when I watch Deontay Wilder fight, seriously, he does not seem like the most technically sound fighter. He looks like he's just trying to land one good haymaker and put you to sleep. That's his thing, and he'll look like he'll take a million jabs in the process of doing so. He leaves himself unguarded a lot. He also wore like he also wore like 100-pound suit to the walking down the runway to the ring. And then after the fight, said, "Oh, that joke was mad heavy. My bad. I shouldn't even done that. I was mad tired by the time I started fighting." Oh man.
We're gonna end off bringing back one of the old segments that we used to do. I bring up a crazy news article headline, and y'all give me y'all response on the headline, and we're gonna end off the show with that. Hoarder charged after 300 animals rescued from New York home. A social worker and the author of a self-published book titled Journey into Awareness, Reclaiming Your Life, was caught at her place of residence, found with 118 rabbits, 150 birds, 15 cats, 7 tortoises, 3 snakes, several mice living among filth, surrounded by their own feces, urine, and covered with cockroaches.
What was her race?
You know damn well. Why even ask?
Because if I did it, you would have.
The better question is, where was she from? Ohio?
Stop it.
Might be.
Hey, what? Some of these stories are inexplicable. Okay, so what was she doing? Was she swimming in the feces?
You said snorting the feces?
Swimming in it. She might have been sorting that too. They were looking for new exotic drugs.
That house must have smelled crazy.
The thing I found crazy about this story is she's a social worker, which part of your job is to go check out people's places to see if it's suitable for living. And you're doing this. And she was a self-help author with the book titled Self-Awareness.
Nah, I know she smelled crazy going to work. She probably one of those same people that have, like, you can't see out of their car. Like, it's just the driver's seat and everything else packed with garbage.
Hoarder, straight hoarder. And just for giggles, her name, she's 51 years old, and her name is Karen Keys.
Oh, well, all of our questions were answered. Could have started with that. Is she from Ohio, though?
I don't know. They didn't go into detail where she was from.
It's cool. She's from Cleveland.
Florida?
She's from Cleveland.
Cleveland?
She's not from Cleveland. Get out of here.
That's crazy.
Obviously, in this situation, this is really prevalent. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. Bench Mob Ent, we out. Peace.
Peace.